idea.
That's right, it's time now. But ladies and gentlemen, Victor Allen's New Sports, brought to you by Victor Allen, written, directed, and produced by the bald-headed black man. He is the man that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate, bringing you that unique perspective on sports. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's Vic! Yeah! This man, sportsman, jockstrap, athlete's foot.
Yeah. All that other stuff that nobody gives a...
Athletes care about athlete's foot. Actually, their women care.
Yeah, they do. They do. Welcome to New Sports, you guys. What's up? I don't have Miko in the room today to sit back and be the counter to the arguments of, some of the sports analogies that she presents, as well as what I present. But, we're going to work with it. We're going to see if we can get her in her own sports segment and try to coordinate something here because, she's passionate. I didn't realize it. Also, just giving you an FYI on this, I keep forgetting that she served 4 years, in
the pen?
Navy, ROTC as well. But,
I didn't know.
Yeah, so
sorry about that, Miko.
She watched the midshipmen take down the Army last Saturday. So I see how patient she is. And Mario will apologize to you guys.
I didn't know.
For anybody's insulting her and who she represents.
I didn't think. I thought it was a misdemeanor offense anyway.
Yeah, sure you did. Okay, you guys. All right, here's the topics I'm going to talk about. Number one, I'm going to get into, does greatness equal Megatron, Sue, and Stafford? And between, don't even say anything.
Sorry, reach for the sound effects.
Don't even go there. Next is, where do you put your playoff money in the NBA? And I'm going to give you 4 teams. So if you had to put money down, we're going to get into that too. And also, Pacers, Pistons, and Clippers, Suns. There was a shakeup with some recent victories. We're going to find out how much weight does that carry moving forward. But first, let's go over to that game last night. Somebody asked the question, what do the Detroit Lions have in common with the Dallas Cowboys? Well, it's always at the end of the game, they're giving everything up, right? They're always...
I know what they have in common with them. They're usually together. Somehow they're usually part of the most boring-ass football games you could ever find on Thanksgiving.
But it's changed.
It was better. It's better. For 1 year.
Yes,
for 1 year it was better.
Yeah.
But how many years have you yawned your way through football games because you were forced to watch Dallas Cowboys?
Right.
They have a deal that no one even knows what the deal is because it's never even part of the deal is you don't talk about the deal.
No, we don't talk about the deal.
But there is a deal somehow that we have to watch on Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir.
The Detroit Lions.
Yes,
right?
You have to.
It's been a torturous.
That's okay. And it's still torture, isn't it? Because the torture is they have something in common with the Dallas Cowboys right now, which is the Dallas Cowboys are not exactly the team that dominated Detroit the way they did in the past. And now Detroit, being that they have what they call the great players, we know that they're all positioned to possibly go to the Hall of Fame. We know Megatron is going, and Ndamukong Suh seems he's on his way. Matthew Stafford. It's a moment there. Let's just find out, though. You watched that game yesterday. They have an offensive juggernaut, but only were able to muster a few points. Now, 3 turnovers by Matthew Stafford.
Sounds like my sex life.
3 turnovers by Matt doesn't cause anybody any aggravation. What we're trying to say is, just follow me here. The Ravens, the one that everybody said, they out of it, man. They ain't going nowhere. How did they look to you yesterday? Not only did they hold down, they sat there and said, we won with field goals. We did 6 field goals. We won with straight, no touchdowns, and we won. So, how bad are the Detroit Lions? Or was it just one of the missteps? Or is it just in their culture?
I don't. I think this is almost one of those ones you kind of almost have to kind of throw out.
You sure?
Well, in that, okay, Vic, Detroit is way better than that, than what we saw.
You can't make up for turnovers. You know that, right?
I know.
3 turnovers.
It's like it's like New Orleans went on and had another bad game. It's amazing.
Right.
But I think that Detroit is better than that. Than what they're showing offensively. Even though they won. So you know what I'm saying? 6 field goals to me means you didn't score 6 times.
Right, you're looking at the opposite result.
Yeah, because when you headed toward this time of year, I'm thinking about playoffs.
Right, I am too.
And what you need to be able to do.
Right. In other words, they did not. They're highly ranked with an offensive team. They have superstars. When I say greatness, they got a superstar Megatron who underperformed yesterday, dropping balls.
He underperformed after someone was talking mess about him. In other words,
Elam did that.
Yeah, Elam, the rookie, was talking stuff about it, saying he was old, and everybody expected him to shut him up.
But he wasn't guarding him.
Yeah, I know. Okay, but it just was okay. So, but anyway, but Dallas.
See, I'm trying to keep Detroit in the mix.
You know, Detroit's in the mix right now, right?
Who's more inclined to go to the playoffs right now? Standing, Detroit really lost their advantage, and Dallas also lost theirs in a way of controlling.
Both of them, it was really weak going for that
division.
Right when you
Chicago, Minnesota. That whole division is weak this year.
Right, there's a bunch of them that you're going. They actually were talking about Philly as a contender, and they were less than 500.
Right. No, not they're. At the time
6 and
yeah, but now I think they're 1 game or 2 games above. They're riding along with Dallas and Philly are playing in a division equal to the Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, that whole division. Detroit. Somebody's saying, okay, Adrian Peterson is not in Minnesota. Cutler's just not coming back in Chicago. You guys have all your health. You have the defensive front 4. Period. Or just the best.
That's why I say they
underperform.
That's why to me they're underperforming.
Right.
For what they need to do.
Right. So my question is,
Reggie Bush was hurt too,
but he played. He did a good job.
Yeah, he did.
He did a good job. Okay, Stafford and Ndamukong Suh and Megatron. It's greatness. It's not enough, is it?
No.
Are we going to question Sportz, the coach, because they have penalties? And they have turnovers. It's a discipline issue here now. The coach is responsible for guiding the ship.
No, I will, but it's amazing how the media, is different. Yeah, like for example, I don't like Sue. I think he's an ass. But it's amazing the commentators that like him.
Yeah,
just straight out say they like him.
Yeah, I like him too.
I said, so you really just rather have a dirty player? That's why I tell people.
But the NFL is full of dirty players.
And a bunch of them say, well, yeah. Well, some of them I just go like, so okay. Well, that's where some people draw the line.
Remember Conrad Dobler?
Yeah.
Okay. Dirty, way dirtier.
Totally. And that issue comes up for everybody as they play. And a bunch of people don't go that way. And that's why they can be on my wall. But the jerks and assholes can't be on my wall. I'm sorry. I don't care how good a player you are. You'd screw that, okay? I'm not putting you on my wall, okay? I might use you as a target. Like Sue, he would be like on a target practice for me shooting archery arrows, Okay, I'd have his poster up. Hey, we got you an Ndamukong Suh poster. Right. Oh, thank you. Be on a cardboard box while I'm shooting arrows,
But think about it, though. Think about it. You have to come. What are you more concerned about? The fans or these guys who have tenure in the league, they're coming on the team, they're physically a little bit more mature than you are, mentally also. You got to come in and make your name. Your concern is with those guys who are trying to take your job, your position, and they're mean, hungry, and nasty. I think he did an excellent job of saying, let me open up my shirt and come on in and break it off right now.
It's just some people manage to do all those same things without playing dirty, cheating, and all that. And that's the ones that I put on my wall. There always has been the ones who were dirty and cheated and all that.
Well, women ever put you on their wall because you never were dirty and never cheated?
No, they never. First of all, cheated too damn much.
See, conditions change.
That's why I asked for forgiveness. But see, Ndamukong, if he asks for forgiveness, I'll forgive him. Come on, Ndamukong. Ask for forgiveness, because I asked for forgiveness.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to ask for forgiveness now for all the future shit I'm going to do. Forgive me now. In fact, forgive Mac and PMC too. And Vic, you probably have to throw yourself on the.
Oh no, that's why
we all need some forgiveness.
I'm already on his side.
I want a forgiveness coupon.
see,
I'm not on his side.
Wait a minute.
But he looked great. He looked good.
Sue will get wiser as age and time passes.
Let's send him a talking Ken dog.
All right, let me just go over this. PMC, I see you say Dallas is done. I'm going to say it's going down to the last game. because it's so unpredictable. If you ever said that Philadelphia would lose against Minnesota when Minnesota doesn't have Peterson and they got their asses handed to them, I didn't see that coming. So everything here is kind of topsy-turvy right now. Between that league, between the league where it's Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota, Dallas, Philadelphia, and New York Giants in the East, they're just so underperforming. We're reporting on teams that's barely playing over 500. So what I'm trying to say is Dallas and Detroit have something in common. It seems like they have to wait for certain things to happen, before they secure a playoff spot. And here's my question, going out on this subject. Who's more apt to make the playoffs between Detroit and Dallas?
Detroit, I hope. Who will you even want to even barely see Detroit? Please don't make me suffer to having Dallas make the playoffs just to watch them get slammed. I have to watch Tony Romo sullen ass on the sideline, Des Bryant have a meltdown, and Jerry Jones piss his pants. See, I don't want to see that. So let's not have Dallas. Please don't make me suffer through that. Please. That's almost as bad as watching the Washington Redskins.
Wow.
Please.
Wow.
Don't make me go through that. Please.
I say, and I understand that. PMC, you're going neither belongs. I said, remember now, there was a year where the New York Giants, who actually finished their regular season around 9-7, went on to win a Super Bowl. So you never know. The turnaround on things right now, if you look at the Baltimore Ravens, they look like their defense has stepped up an extra level. I'm going like they stopped an offensive juggernaut at home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this is the month where some teams look better and worse. But does anybody, and with those examples that you pointed out, are great examples,
right,
which shocked us then, but even then they had potential.
Right.
Does anybody think that Dallas or Detroit, if they even get to the playoffs?
No.
It's like the Lakers trying to get to the playoffs,
yeah,
right?
It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
Even if they get there, what is it, for like a moment? Like they get to stick their feet in the water and then get wiped out?
Right. You know what? Even if you look at it, right now a lot of people will say in the AFC, Denver is the team to bet on because they score so much. But we've learned that lesson. There was a year where the New England Patriots were undefeated, and they scored record-setting numbers. Then they ran into a team that lost 3, 4, 5 games in the season, and they had a defense that stepped up all to be damned. So all I'm saying is that it is hard to say who's going to step up defensively. Baltimore looks like they're finding their way a little bit, maybe because Detroit was an easy target. I didn't think it was. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe neither belongs. I don't know. All right, switching reels now because I got to go over to a sport that, I haven't been given too much attention to because there was a couple of games that say can shape things a little bit or give the teams confidence. We're not sure about it, but I'm going to go on over to what I call put your money. Where are you going to put your money if you had these 4 teams to think about? You have the Brooklyn Nets, LA Clippers, Houston Rockets. I put New York and Lakers. I shouldn't have put 5 teams. I should have said 5.
Boy.
Well, where you put your money? And what I'm gonna say is this: we're talking about money time. When you actually have to turn around, you have Brooklyn, who there's been a turnaround. Now it's only been a couple of games. Maybe just a moment. Maybe people are taking them for granted because they were so badly beaten in recent games. And then they got the Clippers in there, and they served them up easily. Houston is Houston. They're enough to say they're not faltering, but they're up there in games. They expect a little bit better, but that takes time because they got their new center in D. Howard. New York, well, New York is New York. They do what they do. They lost.
The news.
They lost. This not doing well. And Lakers, because of Kobe, unfortunately, you got to go through this period of adjustment. So I'm not jumping on it because I just believe you can't come back that fast off of those Achilles injuries like that and just turn it around quickly. It's not Adrian Peterson. If you had to say the team that you put your money on to go the furthest in the playoffs, who would it be between those teams? New York, Lakers, Houston, Brooklyn Nets, LA Clippers.
Oh, without a doubt, Houston.
Without a doubt, huh?
Yeah, in fact, I've been watching Houston. What's interesting to me, first of all, I think it continues to say something about Dwight Howard.
Right.
He really functions best in an offense where he's not really the focus, Vic.
Right.
And so he looks like he fits better already. Already he looks like a way better fit with Houston than he ever looked with the Lakers, ever.
Of course.
I mean, which is kind of interesting, the first thing.
He's healthy.
Well, okay, and then just the way they work together with Harden. So I like what Houston has, even though I don't think it's enough to take on some of these teams from the East. I don't think they have it. I don't think they can ultimately beat,
Right.
OKC or the Heat.
Right.
I think those are just two teams that are better, and Indiana better. So, but I think they may be part of the class of the West.
Let me put it in a different way too, because Houston is the safe bet for me because it's D. Howard. Lakers, Lakers got Carmelo Anthony.
Wait.
I mean, Lakers got Kobe.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah, Lakers got.
What was that?
Yeah,
what was that?
it was a brain moment. It's the AARP moment.
It's a wishful thinking thing or whatever. You're trying to wish it in the being.
Now, to tell you the truth, if you guys really want to know my sentiments, I don't think it would work if Carmelo did come to LA.
Not with Kobe.
No, because it's about having a defense. He's a great player, but not in the sense of how you stimulate other players. He hasn't gotten to that point yet. He may, but he's just a scoring machine. Let me say this. Let me go over and say Brooklyn has Pierce and Garnett, champions, but Kidd is a first-year coach. So, and you got Houston. Here's the thing that most people don't realize.
Never as good as the first time.
That's right. And Houston has to deal with their coach, who's yet to be determined as a great coach. Because all you think about is D. Howard. You don't think about McHale, do you? Why?
I think they look solid.
Is that enough for money?
I don't know that they have enough to beat the. I don't know if. Okay, well, we have to see. Remember, with ASIC,
right?
I got to see how big they are, how they are under the boards, Vic.
Right.
That's where the question is. It's the front court. It's the big guys that I wonder about when they finally have to match up.
They have enough big guys.
Yeah, but I mean, I wonder it's how they're going to perform.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's the part to be seen. They certainly have all the things.
Right.
But will they even be good enough to hammer like in Brooklyn?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. But you know what? I think they'll have the edge on Brooklyn. The hard part about this is when you're a first-year coach and you're finding your way. And Brooklyn is good, but they need their starting group to dominate to allow Pierce and Garnett to come in and be more fresh. If Pierce and Garnett have to serve a lot more minutes, that is not the way they're supposed to go. And then you need somebody out there who's going to be a defensive monster and not wait for Garnett. That's not the best way to use him. I'll say this. Let me say the part that I think. When I looked at Carmelo Anthony, I said New York is having to find their way. When I looked at Houston, I had questions about the leadership. Kevin McHale, can he take Dwight Howard to the next level? But when I got to the Clippers, after they recently beat San Antonio yesterday by 23 points, that is by, everybody knows this guy, Skip Bayless. He actually commented. He said, I watched every second of it. He says, this team, this is the best game they played all year from beginning to end. He says San Antonio didn't have a chance. He says not the way they were playing. Their defense just switched. You see, when defense switches, even when you lose offensive players, they've lost offensive players to injuries. So they focused on defense. Now all of a sudden the differential is down. Their confidence is up. So if I had to put my money, I put my money on Doc Rivers first. Between the choices of the coaches, between Brooklyn and Kidd, McHale and Houston,
but that
Doc
wasn't one of the choices.
No, but you have to consider that. You have to consider.
Why you get to consider that?
Well,
I didn't get to consider that.
Well, you could have considered it. Why didn't you?
You didn't give me one of those. Hey, but Vic, right. I think it's the consistency, right? What we're looking at the Clippers really is that they too. Well, let's put it like this. They look better than Houston, but with the similar kinds of questions. How are they going to perform on the wire? They don't have that history of being consistent in those final moments.
Right.
And that's where they have to step up. But wow, I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do that even to win the West.
Right.
And because some nights you don't know what you're getting.
Right.
You really don't. You watch the Clippers and they go whoa, is this the same? Is this the same team?
They're changing the culture of the team, or like the company.
They're
changing them from when they came out, they were just scoring. And then they thought they could win by scoring. They lose players. They've lost Barnes to injury. J.J. Redick scoring more points than he's ever had, and he says this is the most fun team. I said, notice when you say the most fun team, yeah, but when you're scoring, but when it comes down to playoffs, you need to shut people down. I think when he gets them, and they're all young, you got younger players around, I think Doc has got it. And the second half of the year, you're going to find out how well they're going to be tested. That's just me saying where I would put my money at. So, yes, the conditions could change. I'll roll. Houston was going to be my choice, but I'm going to say Doc and the Clippers right now. My money goes there.
I give them the edge too.
Okay.
You know, it's interesting how the rivalries between those centers, that's where it's coming down, right?
Right.
Because even when I watched Houston play Sacramento,
right,
it was, Howard and Cousins.
That's right.
You think about how Howard, because he's still not that aggressive, Vic. He still is Dwight Howard.
He still is.
He's still Dwight Howard. He's not an aggressive inside guy. He's not.
No, he's not.
He's a finesse guy.
No, he is an offensive machine, the most talented athlete at his size. And what he does with defense is just amazing. So the rebounds and the block shots and all that, I mean, he's done that, and he gets away with it without even having to excel even further. And he will probably get better and wiser in his years because he's still a young man. But I'll say money time is different. Blake Griffin, I'm so impressed with him scoring as it relates to shooting outside, consistent rebounds, and tops in the league, and shooting free throws. Their Achilles heel is DeAndre Jordan. Once they get the free throws, because they'll attack that team with DeAndre.
Well, he's going to have to measure up to the other top centers in the league. But he could.
He could.
That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see.
He's young. All right, you guys. There were a couple of games also I alluded to. Indiana loses his first home game against the Detroit Pistons, who actually is a pretty good young team that is expected to do pretty well this season. So that's a big loss for Indiana because they were undefeated at home. And then I've already told you about the Clippers as it relates to how well are they playing, and could you put your money there, because money time equals greatness. And if you're going to be in money time, you need to have great players on your team. Chris Paul is great. Blake Griffin is getting there. Indiana has some greatness in development, and Detroit, ways to go. I'm going to try to find out which of the teams here between Indiana and Detroit, is that a statement more for Detroit because they won, or in Indiana, or is just Indiana caught them a little short and said, hey, took them for granted? Does that mean that Indiana has a weakness, or Detroit just caught them at the right time? How would you look at this particular game?
Just a blip.
Just a blip?
Yeah, just a blip. I think what we're seeing is some of the teams, that really, Vic, they don't have it overall enough. We know they're not contenders, but we want to see them represent. Right. That's what the Wizards are doing.
Right.
Even the Bobcats against the Lakers the other day, where the Lakers beat them, but just watching them play, though.
Right.
Watching the play made you at least go, wow, you're not as terrible as the record even says, right? Watching the way you go at things. So, no, I think what we're seeing is that the league is a more athletic league. And so you get these nights, these moments where the teams will upset you. Right. And then you get those upsets because they're running, they're jumping, and you are lagging and dragging.
I was thinking about this as it relates to, I think it's a big game for Indiana because, to me, if they didn't put a lot on their home games in the way of saying, oh, now we're not undefeated at home. Will they have a letdown? Well, the best time to test that is the next game, the next home game.
If they keep up any kind of record that's anywhere near what they've already been doing, that would be extremely exceptional.
Right.
So this is their first home game loss after setting like a blazing clip. They're leading. They have the best record. Right. In the East. In the East. So yeah, I don't think it. They're not worried.
You're not worried. I'm gonna say it's an extremely big boost in confidence for Detroit.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that I agree.
That carries weight no matter what, because it tells them, we can go even if they took us lightly. That's you can't disallow that and says, oh, we took you for granted. No, they came in and they battled a team that nobody's come in there and won.
So that's like when the Lakers win. Because they beat a couple of the biggies.
Yeah, they have.
So
but they have. Well, everybody's concentrating on. First of all, the hard part about everybody's doing with the Lakers, they go like this. before Kobe came back, it became just watch the young guys run up and down the court, shoot the ball. I think the person that is going to elevate his game, Nick Young. Love his game. Off the chain, man. He could be a starter right now, but because he probably contracts and all this other stuff, he is what you think about in Kobe, where he says, okay, give me the ball, I'm going to shoot. When he goes more to the hole, he'll be even better because he has legs, and that's a USC Trojan in the house talking about that man.
That's right. Put a helmet on that soldier.
Okay. Now, with that being said, I still go back and say, Detroit, you did a good job. Now, let's just switch over. Indiana, no big deal. Detroit, oh, man, confidence, all be down. Clippers and Spurs. Man. We're back at it again. Was this game big because the Clippers had to demonstrate they could play defense? Or was it San Antonio going like, look, it's a road. We're on a road journey right now. You just caught us short. We usually have your number. We've always had your number when it came to the playoffs. Or was it that it's just the elevation of the Doc Rivers philosophy? Defense, no matter what. The great teams play great no matter what the conditions. Is it Doc's?
It was just a great night.
Great night.
I would certainly, going forward to the season, try to, even as the Clippers, put that one away, because you're going to face them again and know that they're going to come.
If you get a chance to.
Yeah, know they're going to come different.
Right.
You know they're going to come different. That's the only reason I say that, Vic.
Right.
Any Popovich team, I'm just saying, they're going to come different next time around.
Right. And let me just say this. I don't know if how many players get to actually experience greatness. There's a great player. Mm-hmm. There are great moments. But great teams, a great team, San Antonio Spurs. Now, if somebody's going to say, well, the last two NBA champions are in Miami. I said, you have to understand, when you look at the years of the Popovich culture, he always has them in the top spot, almost like number one, preparing them to get to that spot. Totally. Even though they may get knocked out, they're always at a high level.
And the discipline. I'm looking for Kawhi Leonard now.
Right.
He was like young before, right? He's one of them ones you had not seen. Then he came with it, and so we already said Ginobili. Well, we talked about some people,
he's not.
But Tony Parker, you have the other stuff there,
right?
So yeah, I still go. That's why I call it a blip, because I don't think that a lot of folks will be doing that to San Antonio very much. Right. But anybody can get beat right now at any given
any given
game. But it's that good.
What makes this have a pause moment, and just a pause moment, they lost by 23. Well, they usually don't lose that bad.
Sure.
So it made you pause for a moment to say, "Ooh, 23. That's not San Antonio's makeup. That's not their. They lose, but not by 23." Right.
Well, like I said, everybody seems to be having one of those.
That's true. PMC, yeah. I wish I could comment about Chicago. I think Chicago has to do this, and I'm serious. I think Rose is in a place that he may be chronicle with his injuries, and I'm not saying that he's going to continue to get injured. I just think Chicago has to develop its players as much as possible, because it just seems the way he plays the game, his body it's not the same as being in college. He only had that 1 year in college, so he didn't have to go through year. You come into the NBA, no matter how much you run your body through the gauntlet, what do you and Westbrook have in common? Westbrook is he's fast, he's not as muscular, he's not as big, but he even had to get slowed up by injury that was just kind of odd. So Chicago, I think they are the team. I hope they're not missing their window. I just think Rose has to think about, to me, how to play. Yeah, I am.
That hurt me. That broke my heart a little bit.
A whole year.
It broke my heart. I feel so bad.
Think about Chicago. They're sitting there going, you know how long we've been waiting on this?
I know.
So I know. My wishes are, but I love what Chicago does, because they got a defensive-minded coach that says, okay, we play defense to get us there, and they make it exciting. So I'm done with my new sports, man.
Well, one other injury worth mentioning, which could have been in the NFL though, the Rookie of the Year, Tyrann Mathieu, ACL, and he had a I thought, was it an MCL?
I can't. Okay,
I think he had two tears. two ligament tears. So, and I wonder if he would still get even elected to Rookie of the Year with all that.
No, when you said Tyrann Mathieu, you're not talking about football.
I'm talking about in the NFL.
Got you.
I was just saying that injury to mention. There's certain key ones that just came up, and that's the other one that everybody's kind of heartbroken with him because he was doing such a turnaround. Rookie of the year,
the whole thing. But when you start playing with the big boys, I don't care where your mindset, your body has to adjust because it's going through the gauntlet. New Sports. I'm done, man. Take me out of here. Got to go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. That's Victor Allen's New Sports. Hot neo-urban, a unique perspective on sports. That's what we give it to you here at Pack Stereo. Tune in. Victor Allen's New Sports is a recurring segment of the Morning Coffee with Mario show. You can catch it live Monday through Wednesdays and rebroadcast throughout the week.